Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA, and today I'm stoked to show you guys one of the coolest cars I've ever seen. This is one from my friends at Speedkore. It looks like a car you've seen before, which is the Tantrum Charger, but this is not. This is the evolution of Tantrum Charger, and that's why this car is called Evolution. This is a 70 Charger that is all carbon fiber. This entire body has been replaced with carbon fiber panels. The fitment, the finish, everything about this car is staggering. We can't drive this one. I would love to go do some hot laps around the neighborhood. It just showed itself at SEMA recently, and now it's going out to the Grand National Roadster Show. The car has less than 50 miles on it. It hasn't been shaken down at all yet, but I'm gonna talk you guys through the details because this one has a ton of incredible details on it. So hold on, man, because here we go. So I'm gonna start you up here at the powertrain because it's just cool. I mean, they took a Demon motor, the 6.2 liter Demon motor that already makes over 800 horsepower. They're making around 960, 980 with this one. I don't know the exact number. I know it's just shy of 1,000 horsepower. Obviously, there's this crazy cool custom air intake. That's the Speedkore guys that made that. Everything on this car, for the most part, is custom. They did their own set of headers on this car, exhaust all the way back, Speedkore logo prominently displayed up front, very reminiscent of any OEM company that does stuff like that. We're at 1,000 horsepower. I think we're pretty good here, right? And we're really good when you think of power to weight, because this car is considerably lighter than a traditional Charger. The entire body, every panel on this car has been replaced with carbon fiber, making this car weigh in right at 3,400 pounds. That's a pretty staggering weight for a big Charger like this. And the fitment, if you look at every inch of this body, the carbon weave matches all along. It never misses. I even overheard somebody say, and I thought this was a great compliment to the Speedkore guys, they thought their carbon fiber was on par with Pagani. That's a company known for making exceptional carbon fiber vehicles. One of the other things I love on this, similar to what they did on the Tantrum Charger, but a completely different new design on this one piece billet grille. Totally, again, this is custom, this is Speedkore. They produce this in-house, which is one of the things that I think is so cool about the Speedkore guys, is because of the size of their company and the parent company involved with them, they have the ability to produce all carbon fiber cars, one-off parts like this, and they don't have to outsource anything. They do it 100% in-house. Another detail I personally love is Speedkore does this exclusive deal with HRE wheels, and it just makes sense because HRE does, obviously, you guys, some of the coolest wheels on the planet, and they work directly with the Speedkore guys to create one-off wheels like these. The carbon fiber, just everywhere you catch it, and this car, when you see it in the light, it lights so many different ways. It looks gray, it looks black, it looks almost copper bronze. It's really incredible. But again, the mirrors, that's Speedkore, carbon one-off mirrors. These door handles, this is something that you'll see. I mean, this door handle was on Tantrum, very similar. What I think is amazing on this one though is you'll notice here is inset into the door handle is a small little piece of carbon fiber, keeping the whole theme going throughout the car. I mean, they don't miss on anything. So now you guys gotta see this interior. This is possibly the coolest interior ever. You'll see one-off pieces throughout this entire interior. This is an interior done by the guys at Gabe's Interiors, designed by my friend Sean Smith along with the guys at Speedkore. But you see one-off everywhere. One-off steering wheel, one-off gauges, all the carbon across the dash. Very OEM style, putting the name in the logo. Something I think is really just amazing that they incorporated in. This is the ideas that great designers come up with, by the way, are the switches. Do you recognize these? Those come off of a Lamborghini Huracan. Cool idea, right? The vents, they did a similar thing with the Tantrum Charger. Those come out of an Audi. Pretty cool. But this car, you know, you look at the cage. I mean, it's a 14-point fully caged car. This isn't a bolted in cage. It goes into the chassis to add rigidity to the car. These seats, I mean, these are full race buckets, but they're comfortable. Like, you can sit in these. But again, you look at what they did with the working their logo and stuff into the harnesses. Just such cool flavor. I heard Sean call it this exoskeleton that goes across the trans tunnel. Think Terminator or somewhere in that kind of thinking. That's the idea behind this, the look of what this is. Rear seat delete, which I think is awesome. It shows us how tubbed this car is to fit the 345s on the rear. All carbon fiber throughout this entire interior, mixed, you know, a little bit of leather, no Alcantara anywhere in here, which I think is an interesting touch because pretty much everyone nowadays works Alcantara in everywhere. And you've got the traditional pistol grip. But one of the things that I think is so cool about this is I've shifted enough pistol grip cars with even the same trans. This car has a T56 transmission in it, a Tremec, and typically with a pistol grip, it's a long throw between gears. Look at this though. That's the whole throw right there. Everything's color matched, dude, and it all matches the stitching too. Look at how the stitching matches with this copper tone going in the pedals, around the vents. And this piece is just beautiful going across here. I mean, this detail piece here, splitting the top and the bottom of the dash. And I love how this, like this exoskeleton here on the trans tunnel, they brought it into the dash. You know, it's like, it doesn't lose its theme anywhere along the way. It stays very in. And what's really actually pretty awesome is the view we get in here. You get to see a portion of the chassis. This is a full custom designed chassis done by the guys at Speedkore, 2-inch by 3-inch box frame. I mean, this is some serious stout stuff to deal with, you know, a car making almost 1,000 horsepower. Solenoid door handles, right? All the carbon, just such a stunning interior, man. And with this much power, you definitely want stopping power. Speedkore typically turns to Brembo. These are 6-piston Brembo brakes all around, 14-inch rotors, vented, drilled, plenty of stopping power. Now looking at the rear of the car, once again, obviously it still pays homage to a Charger, but this is not a stock Charger. Very different rear end, including the flushed in bumper like this. Again, all carbon fiber. They've done a complete different setup of the lights. Although it's still reminiscent of a Charger, it's very different than a traditional Charger. But there's elements of this too that'll remind you of Tantrum, but again, very different. If you guys remember, Tantrum had a center exit exhaust. This one's dual exhaust exit, but flushed into the bumper, nice and clean like that. Just mean and aggressive. And I love how they work the name of the car in, Evolution. It looks very OEM. A lot of the styling that the Speedkore guys bring in reminds me of an OEM car, where they place badges and names and what have you. The other thing you just can't miss on this car is the stance. It's not airbagged. It's got no air ride at all. This is how the car sits. So obviously you got to watch it for clearance points, but for the most part, the car has clearance. You know, it's a low one though. But how else do you want it to look? I mean, this car looks so gangster sitting down as low as it does. Part of how they achieve it is they're using Penske coilovers on this car. They're two-way adjustable all around the car, 4-link suspension in the rear with a 9-inch rear end. I love the massive rear tire. I mean, there's only one size bigger until you start going into inches, but this is running a 345 rear, and if I remember correctly, it's a 265 up front. A little bit narrow up front, which is a theme I think the Speedkore guys lean on, is a little bit thinner of a front tire with a big fat rear. Plenty of meat to, you know, put the power down to the ground though, that's for sure. The sound of this car is another one where you can see it's totally different than a Charger that you've heard previously. It's definitely different from Tantrum Charger. And it doesn't sound like a demon either. It's got its own thing going on here. It's not too loud actually. At idle, the car's fairly docile. But as soon as you put your foot in a little bit, you've got a lot of tone going on, a lot of whine from the supercharger. Part of that is, you know, they did do a smaller pulley up front, so you're getting more power at the supercharger. Also, with the custom cool air intake that they put on, I think that's going to affect the sound. All right, you guys, that's it for our walk around of the Evolution Charger by the guys at Speedkore. This is a staggering build. I mean, if all they did was this carbon fiber body alone, you would have an amazing build. But just think about all the one-off pieces that they've made on the exterior, the interior, even under the hood, in the engine compartment, the cold air intake that's proprietary to Speedkore. What these guys are doing is as good as anyone. The only thing that bums me out about this episode is we didn't get to drive the car, and understandably so. The odometer says it has 48 miles on it right now. This car got finished in just enough time to get it out to SEMA, which was just a few months ago. And now the car's going to Grand National Roadster Show this weekend. So understandably, we can't drive the car today. Hopefully in a future episode, we're gonna get to show you guys what this car was made to do, which is to go drive it. So thanks for hanging and watching and supporting what we're up to here. Truly do appreciate it, you guys. And I will see you in the next episode. All right, man, later.